ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Shit, and it's on. Reaction fire on 2. Go to flank. They are frigging close. Anyways, g'day ladies and gents, and welcome back to Cold Waters with Mags, and welcome to, well, we've actually done 2 missions in the time since the last one. Our last mission... Yep, of course we've lost the wires. Our last mission was actually to go and hunt down a supply ship that was... that was heading for the Norwegian coast, and it was the single most boring mission I've ever played in my history of Cold Waters. The ship simply turned away and drove... They sailed across the ocean for about, I think it was close to 80 nautical miles, and they did nothing else. They just sailed in a straight line for 80 nautical miles, and that was it. And eventually I caught them and I torped them. So we've skipped that one and gone to the next one, where we're supposed to be hunting down a wolf pack of Russian diesel-electric submarines that were trying to break into the North Atlantic. I have a sneaking suspicion we may have found them. So, yeah, a little faster than I was expecting to. Fair enough. Getting down to crush depth here, I think. Level it out there. About 1,200 feet. We should be fine. Jesus, how many torps are they planning on firing? And why are we loading surface torpedoes? We're underwater. Those are useless. 1,200 feet, we can't even open the doors to get those friggin' things out. Alright, so I'm just going to hope at this point that none of these torps actually spot me. Anyways, now we might actually have an opportunity before stuff starts getting really wrong again. I can see some torpedo beats coming in here. See whether or not we can actually ID exactly what these are, because I'm pretty sure at this time it's safe to assume these are submarines. That's a whiskey, I guess. Sierra 2. Now they are supposed to be diesel electrics, so 1968 campaign, diesel electrics. And whiskey and a foxtrot seemed like what I would expect. Tracking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 enemy torpedoes at this point. And they're starting to go active. Providing I stay really, really, really quiet down here, I think I might actually be safe and be able to avoid all of those. And we're starting to get a good bead on the whiskey at the moment. We are at 87. Continue on course. Here we do have the whiskey now. Steady course. And there she is, cavitating. Nowhere near our ability to dive. So I'm hoping at 1200 here, this sudden short attack, we're actually deeper than she can potentially get her torpedoes down. Remember, Russian submarines don't have wires, or at least nothing this era does, and nothing, there we are down there, nothing at even up to the 80s campaign does. So all of their torpedoes are dependent on what they can actually see with their sensors, and the detection cone on a torpedo is not particularly high, so Whiskey's gonna run, and I don't think the one we panic fired is actually gonna. Third submarine. Sierra 3. It's a trawler. This is not the place you want to be at the moment, trawler. Not with this many torpedoes in the water. You don't want to be anywhere near here at this point. Right, so we've just about got the Foxtrot as well. It's in 78. I would say it's better in there. It's more likely in there. 135. It's the Whiskey launching. It's the Whiskey launching. And we've lost the Whiskey here a little bit, but that's fine. What is the top speed of the Whiskey? I'm fairly confident that it can't outrun us. 15 knots in the Foxtrot, and the Whiskey can only do 13, yeah, so... yeah, that's not a problem. It's amusing watching them panic drop at the moment. None of my torpedoes are anywhere near close enough to be able to pick them up, and probably won't be. The detection cone of a torpedo probably only goes out to about here, so both of my panic shots are likely going to miss, same as all theirs have. Another noisemaker out. It's because they can't hear me at the moment. They can't hear me over the noise of the torpedoes in the water. Alright, let's go to flank. We're going to hold depth. We're going to go straight down the center to close on them. Now, let's get these torpedoes with active sensors. It's fine, I'm not concerned. Yeah, we're deep enough, none of their torpedoes can actually pick us up, so we can charge straight in on them. Well, I can tell you right now, this is a hell of a lot more interesting than the last mission on this I did. I mean, that's the first time I've ever done a playthrough on a campaign where I felt the need to just skip the mission in the sequence. Normally I do every mission, even if it's a sort of a less interesting mission, because, you know, it is part of the series of missions that you have to complete in order to complete the game, and I like to show the game as it is. So skipping missions normally isn't a thing, but this mission, or more to the point, the last mission, 70 nautical miles plus of chasing down a transport and an escort that were both running at a speed that was just fast enough to outrun my torpedoes, but not fast enough to outrun me. Across the map, total time it took to play in real life was actually about an hour. And yeah, the single worst mission I've played in my history of Cold Waters. It was frustrating and boring in equal parts. And it was just simply a matter of getting close enough that I can get a shot on them with the Mark 16s without the Mark 16s running out of fuel before I hit them. And that's all it was. Foxtrot and Whiskey appear to be turning. We're actually getting surprisingly good readings on these, considering we are running at 24 knots at the moment, how deep we are. We're just going to go straight underneath that torpedo because it cannot hear me. If it could, it would already have picked me up. Alright, so I need a range check. 3.2 kiloyards to target. Go silent. Wait for us to slow down a little bit first. Gonna hold at 1100, nearly 1200 feet. So we'll turn the actives off on these. Confirm range to target is 2.5 kiloyards. Torpedo away. I need to activate this short because I've got to bring it up about 1,000 feet if I'm going to want to hit that. Flick over. I'm only going to bring one up first because I'm going to get it to do a depth change, and then I'll launch the second torpedo after the next one. Actually, no, we'll launch the second torpedo now. We'll launch it now, it'll be fine. I'll just leave it active for a little bit. Torpedo has gone active. Depth change. Now, let's have a look at our conditions. Both are nearly surface running. So we're deep enough we're actually not even showing up on the conditions report here for our exact depth. Running good to detect. Let's go to our second torpedo. Take control, and once again we'll bring it up out of the depths as well. Alright, so we're above 1,000 feet now with the torpedo. Looks like torpedo 1 is about to make contact with Foxtrot. Foxtrot acquired. Right, and torpedo running straight, and it is about to detect the whiskey. Going to active on both torpedoes. Alright, so there's torpedo 2, and there's torpedo 1, both of them acquired. So once we shut these two up, we'll actually be able to do a bit of a check around and see whether or not there's actually anything else in the water, although I assume we would have gotten pings by now if that was the case. Say how many countermeasures it has. Doesn't seem to be dropping at the moment. I'm actually wondering whether or not it may have run out. You're not going to run fast enough, mate. Alright. Foxtrot is down. Isn't that a beautiful sight? Now, Question is, I'm hearing pings at the moment. What am I hearing pings from? Alright, they're pings from the... yeah, they're from our torps. So we... that one wasn't from our torps, though. There was a third ping from over here then, I'm sure of it. There it is.
Come left to 138 Helm.
Alright, so here's the question. We've got the Foxtrot, we've got the whiskey. What's our third? Because it's not the trawler. The trawler... it's pointing at the trawler. Is the trawler actually a trawler? Alright. Periscope depth. Actually, shallower than periscope depth. Let's go all the way up. If that's a trawler, we should be able to pop the surface, hit the radar, and it should come up and confirm that that is in fact a trawler. I'm thinking that's not a trawler. I think that's a submarine that's running at this point that I've misidentified. 900 feet. 800. 700.
Passing 600 feet. Passing 500 feet.
Con sonar, we are cavitating.
I don't care, I'm in a rush.
Passing 300 feet. Passing 200 feet. Passing 100 feet.
And breach. Alright. Radar up. We have no signals on the surface. That is not a trawler. Set depth. 500 feet.
500 feet, dive by.
Con maneuvering, making turns for.
Alright. We need last known direction.
Come left to.
So we are actually on course.
Helm I.
Now,
Helm,
trawler.
steady course.
What else has a signature that falls into that kind of an area? Where's the trawler? Where's the trawler? It's the first trawler, so it's that one. 2 lines, so 3 lines sub 500, one at around 1,000, one at around 1,500.
Con sonar, no longer cavitating.
Excellent. It's very similar to a Yankee SSBN. Charlie is not diesel electric, so I wouldn't expect it to be.
Con, dive at 500 feet, dive by.
I'm not sure. We'll have to reacquire and I'll have to do a second check, but that is definitely not a trawler.
Come right to 136 Helm I. Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 131.
go silent. We have noisemakers in the water. Speed all the way back, and let's do a course change.
Come left to 115.
That first torpedo, or was it the second torpedo we launched? One or the other. That is getting awfully close to the location of whatever this is. The fact that it's dropped noisemakers confirms it. I just need to pick it back up again so I can actually... There it is.
Contact on 03.
Okay, you are definitely a submarine. What are you?
Steady course.
It lines up for a possible Gulf. Lines up closer. I reckon it's a Romeo.
Con sonar 03 is classified.
I reckon that is a Romeo, and if it had just shut up with its active sonar, it might have managed to escape.
Come right to 126 helm high.
And the course it's heading, it may actually pick up my torpedo here. So, let's get these two tubes reloaded, which I should have already done. What is our range? 7.3 kiloyards. A little bit too far for my liking. We're pulling 32% now. We've got to get more side on if we're going to get a decent profile on this thing.
095 helm high. Come left to 091 helm high.
Another noisemaker has been dropped. That's right, Romeo, keep going. You may just pick up the torpedo that we launched ages ago, which has got to be coming close to running out. No timer on it. Noisemakers are here. If that is actually in line, that puts it about here. That's right in the path of this torp. This will be amazing if this picks up on it, because if this Mark 37 picks up that Romeo, it's rooted. It will get it. So signal 5946. It's turning. The torpedo has acquired. Torpedo has acquired the Romeo. The panic shot from the start of the match may be just about to sink the last of the enemy submarines.
Con, torpedo room, tube 3 ready.
Oh shit, you couldn't plan this if you tried. There it is, we got good chops on the Romeo. Yep, she's definitely a Romeo. And the 37's ahead of her tail. So it's not seeing... Oh, there it goes. It finally got a countermeasure into a position where the countermeasure's going to actually cause a torpedo to avoid until it reacquires. We've reacquired the Romeo again. I couldn't have planned that if I tried. That was really satisfying. So even including the panic launch, only one torpedo was wasted there. There she is, all the way over there. Well, I think that's the pack of diesel electric submarines dealt with. Okay. Alright, so USS Plunger, SSN 595. After action report. Whiskey sunk, Foxtrot sunk, Romeo sunk. We still have 11 Mark 37s on board and 8 Mark 16s. No damage whatsoever. And mission update. Fine work dealing with those boats, Commander. Your contribution to the war effort will make transit for our convoys a lot safer, and supporting the troops on land is what the Navy is all about. Keep it up, Commander. New orders will be transmitted on this downlink. So that was the pack that we were after as well. Perfect. Alright, let's see what the next mission objective is. Oh, wait. Soviet subs spooked. Incidents involving attacks on transatlantic convoys by hostile submarines in and around the North Atlantic have rapidly diminished. An anonymous spokesperson suggested increased NATO submarine operations in the area are a contributing factor. However, the Pentagon has refrained from comment on submarine operations. Without the threat of attack from submarines, transatlantic crossings have become more efficient, suffering less losses. If this improved influx of supplies and war materials can be sustained, NATO forces will be in a position to take the fight all the way back to the Iron Curtain. Excellent. Alright, so what is our next mission? In the vicinity of Ireland is a current location. Tactical situation. Recent recon overflights show a large force of enemy landing ships and surface combatants preparing to sail within 3 days. NavOps believe there will be an attempt to conduct an amphibious landing at Narvik. Again? I swear this is like the 4th time they've tried to invade Narvik. At some point, they'd have to realize there's a submarine that's fairly angrily defending the place. Anyways, ladies and gents, I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you very much for watching. As always, Cold Waters will return to the channel once again very soon with the 1968 campaign, and until next time, remember to click that like button if you did, share and subscribe if you would like to see more, and as always, take care.